You may not know it, but Aleister Black was the first Dutchman in the WWE, the biggest pro wrestling federation in the world. As you can imagine, his journey is very interesting. His career is full of surprising stories, and that's what we're going to see together in this video. It took Aleister Black a while to get a chance to shine in the American Federation. Everything will be different when he is sent to Monday Night Raw, one of the company's weekly television shows, in the fall of 2019. There is a man who is in charge at the time and who is known for the opportunities he likes to give to young wrestlers. He also appreciates their technical qualities. His name is Paul Heyman.
My name is Paul Heyman.
From the moment he started there, he had a winning streak that will last a few months. The idea was to build momentum for a long time. That usually leads to an opportunity for one of the organization's most important titles. But from July 2020, he will be less and less on television, with only 3 matches between July 20th and October 12th. This is certainly no coincidence. In June, a year after getting this job, Paul Heyman was fired from his position as Raw director.
You're fired.
From that moment on, everything will change for Aleister Black in the company because an influential person who believed in him is no longer behind him. This story about Paul Heyman had major consequences on his career. Aleister Black was a wrestler who had a unique universe in the WWE. His character was really different from all his other colleagues. He had a lot of talent in the ring and would have deserved a much better career in the organization. What is also interesting is that the Dutchman already offered ideas for storylines to Vince McMahon. For example, he imagined one where he would have kidnapped Rey Mysterio's children, a program against Vince McMahon himself, or even the formation of a team with The Undertaker in the Dead Man's rivalry against AJ Styles. All this could have been a lot of fun. When you learn things like that, you can only regret the company didn't listen more to Aleister Black. From April 23, 2021, new videos of Aleister Black were broadcast on the SmackDown show. In general, this is a good sign in the WWE. It is a process where a new character is introduced for a few weeks to show viewers the wrestler is going to debut. It is also an opportunity to be creative and to arouse curiosity. Aleister will succeed in this mission. They told the story of what seems to be his childhood, and there was a character called the Dark Father. After these videos, he ended up attacking his colleague Big E at the end of an important match. So we could imagine that Big E, this funny character who is part of the New Day team, would be his new opponent. An interesting rivalry could have developed between the two men. But on June 2, 2021, Aleister was fired by the company. In the end, all this fresh start he had had will have led to nothing. No rivalry, no storyline, and it will have been prematurely ruined because of budget cuts. At least that's the explanation Aleister got for his dismissal. It's a real shame because these videos seem to be leading somewhere. Real efforts were made to give him another chance, also with new music that he considered even better than the previous one. Aleister was excited about this whole Dark Father story that he mainly wrote himself. He says that in the end we would have understood it better and that it was not his choice, it was so mysterious. Apparently, he also had a good relationship with the boss at the time, Vince McMahon. The latter appreciated his creativity and honesty when Aleister didn't hesitate to express his opinion. He said he wasn't sad nor depressed about this dismissal. It is part of life's ups and downs. To him, it doesn't matter if it really was because of budget cuts. He declared he had some amazing years there. He is grateful for what the company did for him because he was able to present pieces of his characters. At the beginning of 2018, Aleister Black had the most important match of his career. At the TakeOver New Orleans show, he will face Andrade, who was the defending champion at the time. The two wrestlers will have a spectacular bout that will become a NXT classic. What you may not know is that Andrade's manager, Zelina Vega, was the Dutchman's girlfriend in real life. They got married at the end of 2018, but 2 years later, his wife was fired by the WWE a few months before Aleister was sent home too. The reason she was fired was because Zelina Vega was not following the company's policy by using the social platform Twitch. However, she will finally return to the company on July 2, 2021, a few weeks after Aleister was fired. When Aleister Black debuted in the WWE, he was at NXT, where all the new talents in the organization start. After failing to win the title for a second time against Ciampa at NXT TakeOver Phoenix and a participation in the Royal Rumble where he will be eliminated by Baron Corbin, something important will happen in his career. He will be on a team with Ricochet. The little acrobatic wrestler becomes his partner for the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, a tournament that gives the winners a tag team title shot. It is interesting to point out their collaboration really began during the halftime Heat show, which took place during the Super Bowl halftime. Together, they form a fun and effective team. They go through all the rounds and win in the final against the Forgotten Sons on the March 27, 2019 NXT. Thus, they will win the chance to fight against the champions, the Viking Raiders, at NXT TakeOver New York, where they will lose. In the process, Aleister Black and Ricochet will even have a match at WrestleMania 35 against the Usos, Cesaro and Sheamus, and Rusev and Nakamura for the SmackDown Tag Team title. It was a very important moment in the Dutchman's career because after this period, his adventure in NXT will stop. He will then go to the main roster with all the company's biggest stars. His story with WrestleMania, the most important moment of the year in wrestling, is also original. After this first match against other teams in 2019, he had his first singles match there a year later. At WrestleMania 36, he will face Bobby Lashley. It is a match that he will win, even if it was unfortunately in the Federation's Performance Center. There was no audience due to the pandemic. On July 7, 2021, just a few weeks after his dismissal, the Dutchman debuted in the other major American wrestling federation, All Elite Wrestling, under the name Aleister Black. The amazing thing is that wrestlers who have just been fired by the WWE usually have a 3-month non-compete clause. So we can wonder how he was already able to start there just a few weeks after his dismissal. In fact, the explanation is funny. There was simply an error in his contract that allowed him to sign elsewhere long before. There, he will start by attacking Arn Anderson and later Cody Rhodes, whom he will defeat in his first match on August 4, 2021. Something very remarkable about Aleister Black's career is that he had the opportunity to work with the legend who was an obvious inspiration for him, The Undertaker. When the Dutchman's unbeaten streak ended against AJ Styles at the beginning of 2020, he will face him at the Elimination Chamber show. While he was in a bad position, The Undertaker will attack Styles and his teammates and then disappear. I must say that I like to see a connection between Aleister Black and the Dead Man being one of his successors. It also reminds me of a scene that you may not be familiar with and where we really saw The Undertaker's influence. Aleister was looking for the man who attacked him in 2018. He will find out in a pretty amazing scene with Nikki Cross. It's October 17th and she is in the middle of a match against Bianca Belair. At the moment when they were both on the mat, all the lights go out in the arena for a few seconds. Then we suddenly see Aleister Black sitting in the ring. When I see this, I think it was obviously inspired by an Undertaker appearance. That's what the Phenom used to do for years and I like it, because I am a fan of this character. While the spectators are silent so that they can hear everything, Aleister will tell Nikki to reveal her secret to him. He wants to know who attacked him. Cross slowly crawls up to him and whispers in his ear. With some excellent acting game, the Dutchman begins to boil with anger. The author of this act was finally Johnny Gargano. We can say that Aleister Black had a unique journey in the WWE. I hope you had a good time watching this video, and I invite you to stay on the paradise of wrestling to look at some other ones. See you right away.
And that's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Cold said so. What?